Have you ever walked through Mayfair or Belgravia in London and wondered who owns all this ridiculously expensive property? Well, for the most part, it's one family, the Grosvenors. Their story isn't about some tech startup or a lucky stock pick. It's a 340-year saga of patience, smart moves, and a little bit of marriage luck. Believe it or not, this real estate empire, now worth billions, started with a wedding back in 1677. Let's rewind. The year is 1677. A country baronet named Sir Thomas Grosvenor makes a very clever marriage. His bride, Mary Davies, is just 12 years old, but she comes with a massive inheritance. 500 acres of swampy, undesirable land just west of London. At the time, nobody would have guessed this marshland would become the most valuable real estate on the planet. This land included what we now know as Mayfair, Belgravia, and Pimlico, but back then, it was just fields and a few scattered houses. The Grosvenors didn't rush to sell. That's the first secret to their success. Patience. For decades, they just held on to the land. It wasn't until the 1720s, under the guidance of Sir Richard Grosvenor, that they started developing it. But they didn't just sell plots. They had a vision. They hired the best architects and planners to create a high-end, fashionable neighborhood. They laid out elegant squares, wide streets, and beautiful homes. This was the birth of Mayfair as London's most exclusive address. Their second secret? The leasehold system. Instead of selling the land outright, the Grosvenors leased it, usually for 99 years. This was a stroke of genius. It meant they got a steady income from ground rents, but more importantly, after the lease expired, the land and whatever was built on it returned to the family. This allowed them to redevelop and modernize their properties every century or so, keeping the neighborhoods fresh and desirable, and ensuring their wealth grew with each generation. Imagine getting your property back after 99 years, now worth 1,000 times more. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, as London expanded, so did the Grosvenor estate. They developed Belgravia in the 1820s, creating its iconic white stucco-fronted terraces that became the home of Britain's aristocracy. They weren't just landlords, they were city builders, shaping the look and feel of West London. They weathered economic downturns, world wars, and changing social landscapes, always adapting their strategy. While other aristocratic families sold off their London estates to pay taxes or debts, the Grosvenors held on tight. Fast forward to today, the current head of the family is Hugh Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster. At a young age, he inherited an empire that has long since gone global. The Grosvenor Group is no longer just a London landlord. It's a worldwide real estate powerhouse with properties in North America, Asia, and Europe. They're involved in everything from developing residential towers in Vancouver to managing shopping centers in Stockholm. Yet, the core of their wealth and identity still lies in those 300 acres of prime central London that all started with a teenage bride's dowry. The Grosvenor story is a masterclass in long-term thinking. It shows how wealth isn't always built overnight. Sometimes, it's about having a vision, playing the long game, and understanding that the greatest asset you can have is land, and the second greatest is time. From a swampy marsh to a global empire, it's an incredible journey of building a dynasty, brick by brick, lease by lease. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that have shaped our world. See you in the next video.